Welcome back to the Meet You from the Midwest podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. I just want to get into a little bit of sports. I want to do a little bit of stocks talks, but starting off with the sports first, let me get into a little bit of NBA, man. DeMar DeRozan has signed a sign and trade deal to the Sacramento Kings. This is coming off of being in Kendrick's "Not Like Us" video. I'm thinking that they hyping him up to come to the motherfucking Lakers. They hyping this nigga up to go to the Sacramento Kings, man. I think this was like the first time they did like a six trade team, whatever deal. And he ended up with Sacramento. Does it move the needle? Does it move the needle? To me, it somewhat does, because just not being biased, but this makes them just like I said with the Sixers trade with Paul George going there. This makes them a better regular season team, but we've seen what DeRozan is when it gets to crunch time, when it gets later on in the season, or even in the playoffs when he played for Toronto. I don't think he made it with the Spurs. I don't think he made it to the playoffs with the Spurs. But when he was with Toronto, going against those Cleveland teams with LeBron, he folded. It's something about like with LeBron, he's one of the greatest players, a legend, top 3 player of all time. These dudes fold when they play this, man. So that just tells me that even at this age, even at this time in his career, he will still fold to a team like the Lakers. The Kings did get better. They got another shooter, another scorer to go to pair with Sabonis and DeAndre Fox, but I don't. This doesn't make me like, oh, Kings are they're going to be a top 2 seed or top 3 seed. I don't see that. They could definitely be top 5. I know they're coming off injuries last year, but DeMar DeRozan really doesn't move the needle. Even if he was to come to Lakers, we definitely needed another scorer. Like this, the Kings going to be all right. They just had a season where there's a lot of injuries. Everybody got hurt that year. But if he would have came to LA for 3 more years, that would have left him and AD there after LeBron decides to retire in this next year or two. And they could have at least made the playoffs or something to keep the tickets going or whatever. But DeMar DeRozan to me just don't move the needle. With Sacramento, I think they'd be better. They're one of the younger teams in the league. He's a vet now because I think he's like 30 plus as well. LeBron, the oldest right now, I think he's like 39. But DeRozan probably like 30, maybe between 30 and 32, I'm thinking. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be the player that they think he is. For basketball fans, if you watch DeMar DeRozan, he can give you 20, 30 a night, but then he can also come out there and shit the bed. And I think that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna look great in the regular season. Once the playoffs get there, he gonna fold, because it is the West is a lot different from the East. But we'll see how it goes, man. I don't think it moves the needle, but the Sacramento Kings should be a top 5 seed. They shouldn't have to make it go to the play-in and make it in like the Lakers have been doing these last couple of years. Actually, Sacramento had to get into the play-in. I think it was this year. They actually had to do the play-in, and they didn't make it in. So I said I think they could be a top 5 team, but they simply don't. They're not one of those teams that you're gonna be thinking like, oh, they're gonna be in the NBA Finals this year or the Western Conference Final. I don't see it. Let me know your opinions on that. Like, share, subscribe to the Meet You from the Midwest podcast for the latest NBA updates.